Oh, hi there. This spot is actually more familiar than you think it is. You can kind of tell by the lighting that this is an area that I'm very familiar with, that I am testing out because I have some things in the works that I'm trying to do as I move forward. Because come to find out, I actually like standing. Who would have known that I like standing? I don't think I will stand in every single video, but I do think it is something that will add to my skill set. So let me just say that. The other thing I want to say here is, yes, I am in a corner. So there's that. But notice the black background because I am working on something. And if it works out the way that I want it to work out, I will be very happy. And one day I'll probably reveal all the areas that I record from, because what some of you don't know is everything is kind of in one room, some kind of in one room. I'll actually probably save that for my members. But anyways, there's that. The other thing I want to point out here is that my nails are still not done. However, in a few hours, I'm supposed to have my nail appointment. The heater is up and running and functionable. So hopefully when I come back and record again, I will A, have my nails done, and B, I will hopefully have my hair done, assuming everything goes right. Because, you know, when the weather gets crazy here, things get a mess and whatever. So you're not here to hear me talk about that. So what I am doing, this is the February challenge, and I am clicking through, or I am going to my analytics on YouTube, and I am figuring out what people are searching, what people want to hear about, what people want to whatever, and I am choosing to talk about those things. So that is what I'm going to do in this video. Also, for those of you that are new here, welcome. Thank you to all the people that are new subscribers. I am trying to build my community, and I am trying to get to 2,000 subscribers. And I am also trying to get to between 5 and 7 members to join my membership. So if you're curious or interested in joining my membership, that is where I'm kind of behind the scenes, raw and uncut. Okay, that sounds really dramatic, but I'm not that interesting. But there are some things there that I will plan to show more of, especially like of my setup, what I'm working on, what I'm doing, especially if I end up liking all of this stuff. So if you haven't already, don't forget to join my membership. If you are interested, I will put that in the link in the description and in the comment section. In the comment section? Is that the comment section? Yeah. I'll put the link in my description, and I will also add it in my comment section. And also, if you're not subscribed to my channel, you should be subscribed to my channel. I am going to post something here that I saw this morning about how many people are watching my channel that are not subscribed to my channel. So if you're watching my channel, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I will stop rambling. Let me get into the things that are in my analytics today. Also, for those of you that are kind of curious or interested or whatever, I am no longer going through like my list of 12. I pick the top 6 and then I work from there. It's just easier for me. It's easier for my brain to like figure out what I want to do. So when I am looking at this, the first thing I see here is college football recruiting tips. Ooh, college football recruiting tips. I kind of like that one. College football recruiting tips. NFL division winners and predictions. I'm not really ready to do that yet because literally the season just ended and I don't know what any of these teams are going to do in the offseason. NFL over-under predictions. Can't really do that. Texas Longhorn Podcast. Welcome back, Texas. Hook 'em. I love it when I see Texas in my section here. And then NFL offseason predictions. Honestly, I kind of did that in another video, although I talked a lot about Shador in that video, but it's kind of hard to predict these off seasons because I don't trust the NFL. So there's that. So I'll just kind of leave that where it's at. How football has changed. How football has changed. I don't know if I can talk about how football has changed because I feel like I would need a little bit of research. So I am going to talk about college football recruiting tips. Yeah, I'm going to talk about college football recruiting tips because I think what happens during recruiting, I think sometimes we forget the people element of recruiting. Like I think my whole thing just went black. So I really hope that I am able to remember the topic because we all know I am notorious for forgetting the topic when I'm talking. So college football recruiting tips. So here are some things that I would consider. Please don't fall. That would be really dramatic. Also, what you don't see is there is lighting right here that is making me look this great, making my skin look this flawless. You can tell there's lighting because you can see my shadow right here. Anyways, nobody is here to hear me talk about lighting. My bad. Let me get into this college football recruiting tips. Okay. My first college football recruiting tip would be, remember that this is a people business. What do I mean by a people business? Build relationships and talk to people. I think so many times we get away with, or we try to sell people things, and we don't often realize that, like, first, before you try to sell me something, I need to know about you. I need to know about you. I need to know about your program. I need to know who's trying to recruit me. And I need to know, like, what I can bring to you, right? In a way. So, like, get to know me. Get to know not only my football, but get to know me as a human. Get to know me, what I like to do, the things I like to do, and things like that. The other college recruiting tip that I would have, because I'm looking at this from all different angles. I'm looking at this from the coaching angle of figuring out who you want to recruit. I'm also looking at this as from the recruit's perspective. So what I mean by the recruit's perspective, I mean from an actual person that's getting recruited. Here's some things that I would look out for. Another thing I would look out for is paying attention to when people reach out to you. So this is kind of one of those things, honestly, I do with like my friendships, if I'm being honest, is pay attention to, do people only reach out to you when they need something or when things are going bad? Or do people reach out to you when things are going great and they just want to share great news, or they just want to talk to you, or they just want to check in? Always pay attention to the people who just want to check in. The people who just want to check in are the people that usually care about you, because if they think about you just enough to check in, I would use that. That's a good thing. So so remember, this is a people business. Pay attention to the people that check in. Also, I would say pay attention to if I was a college football player, the one thing I would try to do is I would try to make two connections. I would try to connect with my position coach. Obviously, the guy who's recruiting me, I want that connection with him, but I would also try to connect with another coach. The reason why I would connect with another coach is because if I connected with another coach, I would be able to see how Coach A is talking to me that I'm going to play for, which is great. But then I also want to see what this Coach B is talking about, because even though Coach B might not coach me, Coach A might be my coach and I might love Coach A. If Coach B is a little bit crazy and Coach B doesn't really speak the same language as Coach A, I'm going to be questioning this football program a little bit. So a little pro tip is I would pay attention to Coach A, obviously, yes, build that relationship, but I would also pay attention to Coach B, because in my opinion, the Coach B is actually going to be real with you and tell you about the culture and the team and the things like that, because then you can cross compare the two. How are they talking? Are they talking the same? Do they speak the same language? Do they have the same goals? Do they have the same whatever? They're not going to be the same person, but it just gives you another touch point where you can kind of figure out like what's going on in this program. So that would be my other thing. Another thing I would say from a coaching standpoint, I would try to get as many two sports guys as I possibly could. I love a good track guy, so I would focus on that. But if you can find a guy who plays football and is really good at football and is really good at something else, I think that is great. I think two sport athletes are tremendous. So that is something that I would definitely look for. I would look for a guy who's coming from a winning program. I don't really want a guy that's coming from a losing culture. Now, if I'm getting you from the transfer portal, let's just say this is college recruiting in the transfer portal. I don't mind if you come from a program that was a losing program in college, if you just happen to make a bad decision and go to a bad team or your coach left or whatever. But what I would think about is where you came from in high school, because a lot of people will leave situations, even if their team is decent, they will leave that situation because they're not used to losing. And they're not used to losing because on their high school team, they didn't lose. So something to consider. I want a team of winners. I want a team full of people that know how to win. Will I take somebody that is a tremendous athlete that doesn't come from a winning program? Absolutely. I'm just saying these are some touch points that I would think about when I'm kind of going through my recruiting checklist. I think the other thing here, I gotta, make sure everything's where it's supposed to be. The other thing I would also say here about the Coach A, Coach B, that is actually a really good tip. Coach A and Coach B is a really good tip, because you know why else? If Coach A leaves and you realize you love the program and Coach B is still there, so you love the school, you love the program, you love the city, the schools, and you love all the things, you like Coach B a lot. He's not your coach, but you like him. But then in walks a new coach, and the new coach is cool. That connection to Coach B will kind of keep you interested in that program. That's total side note that I just thought about. That Coach A, Coach B thing is brilliant. So there's that. Another thing I would consider is I would try to build relationships. If I was a player, I would try to build relationships with other people that are actively being recruited by the same school and maybe by other schools, because I want to know what the difference is. Like, I want to know it. Oh, sorry. Something off camera was falling. And okay, anyways, sorry. Sorry. That was really random. I want to know, what was I saying? What the F was I saying? Oh, because I want to know a lot of things. I want to know, is the person recruiting me doing a good job? Is the person recruiting me doing a good job? I also want to know who else is being recruited, and I want to know what they're telling these other people being recruited. I also want to know and stay connected with what other schools and other programs are telling them. So is the thing that the coach is telling me at this program actually real? Is it true? Is this coach telling me something different that nobody else is telling their other players? Like, I think the connection piece of this is kind of where I'm landing in the building relationships. And it is so that you can cross compare. Because listen, you're recruiting me for my talents. You want me to come to your school so that your school will win. That, in my opinion, means that I need to do my due diligence. And my due diligence is figure out who else you're recruiting and get to know them and talk to them. My other thing is figuring out the other coaches. Is this just college football recruiting? Is it? Oh gosh, now it's locked. Okay, everything is going to hell. Is this college football recruiting? Because I didn't talk about any NFL recruiting because I really don't think you can. Yeah. Okay, cool. So there's that. So I just think it's important to make sure that this is a people business. And yes, it is a production business. You have to provide production. I got that. But before you provide the production, this is a people business. And you have to feel connected to the people. You have to go want to play for those people. And you have to also feel like those people are going to provide something to you. So those are the things that I would think about. The one thing I want to say here that I just thought about, because I say this all the time, and I know Coach Prime doesn't do home visits and blah, blah, blah. I think it's a mistake. I think it's a fail. So whatever. If you are a coach and if you are recruiting and if you are a student athlete that is being recruited, I would pay attention to the coaches that come and visit me in my environment. And I would pay attention to the coaches that come and watch me do my extracurricular things. If I play another sport, if I do something else and the coach never shows up to see that thing, it doesn't have to be the head coach. Somebody needs to show up to see me though. I mean, listen, if I'm a 5-star guy, I need the head coach to come and see me. I need the head coach to come see me in my home. I need the head coach to come see me do my other extracurricular thing. That's just how I feel about it. But I think a coach taking the time to come and see you and to do in-home recruiting is very, very, very important because this is a people business. And I want to see my coach in my element. I want to see my coach in my world. I want to see how my coach reacts to my world because that is going to show me how he's going to react to me when I get into his world. Also, I want to end this by saying this. If you are being recruited, you have all the leverage. And the second you don't hold your coach accountable or to a standard of high recruiting you is the second you have told that coach that it is okay to not hold you in that high standard. Do not allow coaches to not make you feel important. Do not allow coaches to tell you that they are too old to come and watch your school or to come and do home visits. That is an excuse. If I was being recruited and if I was doing the recruiting, I would absolutely positively not give anybody that excuse. I'm going to give you my time. I'm going to give you my energy. I'm going to show you how important you are because when we're in a game and it gets tough and it gets whatever, I need to know where you came from. I need to be able to remember the things that matter to you. I need to be able to remember the way that you showed up in your environment. And I need to be able to use those things to get the best out of you. And that is part of building relationships. And you cannot say that building relationships is important, but you are not doing every single thing it takes to build those relationships. And I will just leave that where it's at. So that is how I feel about college recruiting. Now, if I had time to actually sit and come up with a list and come up with some things, I might feel a little bit differently on some of these things. Like some of them might be higher or not, but I love the A-B thing. I love having the two people of connection. Obviously, I like the in-home visits. I like the communication. I like the checking in and things like that. So I think this is a pretty good list just to kind of throw it together. Anyways, I'm going to end this video here. Thank you for being here. If you haven't already, don't forget to like, don't forget to comment, don't forget to subscribe. And if you're interested, don't forget to join my membership where I will tell you what the hell is going on here and what I'm trying to do here. And I am just going to end this video here. And I need to say, this lime looks really good against this black. You're starting to kind of see why I like black. It looks so good with so many different things. Anyways, pray for my nail appointment, pray for my hair appointment. Honestly, it's not that serious. Real life is happening around us, but I really do need to get these nails and this hair done. So I will end this video here, and I will talk to you soon.